our next game, Donnie, between GWS and North Melbourne because. Okay. So, two things here. As a GWS fan, I would like to get through this game as quick as possible and not even talk about it because thank God it wasn't lost, but a draw against this team is not good. But as a fan of the AFL, this was objectively a really good and a really, really exciting game of footy because this is almost like the games that you love to watch. It's almost one of those perfect footy games because this really had everything in them. Another huge comeback, down nearly 30 at one point. Daniel Lloyd put up two on the day. He puts up one with about a minute to go, a few minutes ago in this one, and he barely misses that last kick. That one hurt, Don. I really thought that was going through for about half a second. Then my heart dropped, and I realized that they were going to tie to the freaking Roos, man. We're going to tie to the first team in the league, but it's okay. It's okay because you still get the 2 points. You're still not totally out of the finals contention. It's still there, at least mathematically. It's still there. So, what do you think about this game, and what does this mean for GWS's chances at making the finals?
Well, this definitely throws a little bit of an odd trinket to this season because now GWS has that oddball 2 points.
Of course, my team had to be the ones ruining it, right, with the draw.
So here's the thing though, is it could almost be somewhat of a blessing because
Really?
you get 2 points instead of
All right. Talk me up. Talk me off the cliff here.
Okay.
Let's hear the positive.
So right now you're 6 points back. Okay.
Yeah.
But again, Richmond, West Coast, Sydney, Port Adelaide are right there, so you still got a shot.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing here is that they're going to have to make sure they win games and just make sure that you're within that half a game of 8th place, because then if you get into a situation where 8th place loses and you win, you don't have to worry about percentages because now you're 2 points ahead of them.
Good point.
But it does throw you off a tiny bit because now you're a game and a half back instead of 2 games. Mm-hmm. So it is a little odd because right now you're 22 points, 2 points behind Fremantle, who has 24. Your percentage is better than theirs, but again, you got to win and hope Freo loses before you jump over them just because of the points thing. So we'll kind of hypothetical here.
Yeah.
If Richmond were to lose their next game and GWS wins, okay, now you're only 2 points back of Richmond. So Richmond can't mess up because if Richmond loses and you win, you jump over them. You don't have to worry about percentages now. Because of that oddball 2 points, every win now could jump you places instead of you getting into a tiebreaker and having to look at percentage to be able to get in. So this is kind of an oddball little thing where sometimes a draw is actually good because it gives you that little 2 extra points to play with, that you can jump teams that are tied mm-hmm. with the 4, 8, 12, so on and so forth point system. That this 2 points sometimes can potentially get you into the finals. Now,
thanks for the positivity.
You're game and a half back, which means you still have 2 games that you got to win. You got to hope that at least lose one to be able to make up that point differential. You're looking at it right now is that Richmond is 6 points ahead of you, but then the problem is you run into is West Coast, Sydney, Port Adelaide, and Brisbane are all 10 points ahead of you. Mm-hmm. So you're basically 3 games behind them. So with only, you're looking at it, GWS has played 12 games, so they're going to catch up to like Richmond, West Coast, Sydney, Port Adelaide, all are at, well, except Port. Mm-hmm. 3 of those 4 are at 13 games. So you could potentially, you win this week, you could potentially cut that down from 10 down to 6. Okay? And then with Richmond, you could cut it down to 2 if you win this week. Which then meaning if Richmond drops 1 and you win, you jump Richmond and you're in the finals. So again, it's the oddball twist to it. It's not a given that you have a chance, but it does throw a little bit of that weird because you do have that 2 odd points instead of 4.
And it's a game like this where I might sound like American talking out my rear end with this one, but I am a firm believer, Donnie, in overtime that lets you win games. I hate ties. Ties are the dumbest thing in sports. I want a winner. I love these like sports like hockey. You if you're in the regular season, if you have overtime, if you're tied after overtime, you go into a shootout until someone wins. In basketball, you play overtime periods until someone wins. But in football, you have an overtime period of 10 minutes. But if you tie at the end of that, it's a tied game. I really think it's stupid. If we can put 5 minute periods incrementally, 5 minute periods into this game, where almost like NBA playoffs, where you have like an extra 5 minutes. Whoever is leading once that is done wins, or if you're still tied, you go into another five. I think that's something that they should implement. There's probably a lot of true-hearted Australian football fans that are going to hate me for this, but I really just hate ties, and I think this is something that the AFL might, in my opinion, they should look at doing.
I think there's growing call for it, which is really funny because the draw is such a unique thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I saw the statistic somewhere, they said that your GWS Giants have 3 of the last 5 draws in the last 3 or 4 years or whatever it
Oh,
is.
that's fun. That's a great stat. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Coming. I thought it was hilarious, but yeah, I could see why. My only thing that you may get a little bit of pushback from the players because it's more wear and tear on the players for the overtimes, where, like I said, there's a lot of, there may be some red tape you're going to have to go through. I don't mind the draw because I think if a team can get 2 points out of a game because they can get a draw, I don't mind it.
Mm-hmm.
But I also watch European football and soccer for the American fan, so I don't mind the draw because I'm used to it. And I remember soccer I remember hockey when there were ties, and I don't mind it because sometimes a team doesn't deserve to lose. I don't mind the draw. So
That's
for
kind of
me,
why I like hockey though, because hockey operates on a 2 point system. So if you win the game, you get 2, lose you get 0. But if it goes into overtime and you lose, you get 1. So in this case, I would like the overtime. The overtime winner gets 4 points, but the loser still gets 2. I think hockey did a great thing with that sort of point compromise.
it'd be interesting. I know. I think if I heard right, there have been discussions that they say that many fans don't like the draw, but I don't know. Again,
I'm
Aussie
there with
rules
it.
Aussie rules fans are kind of sticklers for their tradition sometimes.
Damn right they are. They're worse than baseball fans over here.
Whether the draw disappears anytime soon, we'll have to see. But